Our next guest has been named one of Canada's top 20 dynamic CEOs. Dr. Nadia Akseer is only 36 years old. Her St. Catharines company, Modern Scientist Global, is capturing national and worldwide attention during the pandemic. Dr. Akseer, first off, congratulations on this honor. That is really, really a big one.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me here.
Tell me about your business, Modern Scientist Global. It is in downtown St. Catharines. What exactly do you do?
So Modern Scientist Global is a global public health research consulting firm. So essentially what we do is we focus on public health and thinking about how to get public health messages out there to people who need it most. These are individuals who are taking decisions about their health, mothers, children, parents, families in general. And I think during the pandemic, it's been extremely important to get accurate information out there. And one of the things that's come to light is that people are confused and there's tons of misinformation related to COVID, and vaccine hesitancy is a big problem. And so what MSG is trying to do is get that information out there in an honest and accurate way, in a timely fashion, and coming from a group of scientists like myself who are young, who are just trying to learn the truth using the knowledge and the tools that we have to study the evidence, study the science, and get these messages out there to people who need them most. And doing that importantly through entertainment or art medium, because my vision is that I think the nexus, the future for public health really is to bring science and art together, and use art as a way of communicating that science and public health messaging out there. So we're doing a lot of that at MSG, focusing on social and public health issues, especially COVID during this time. And at the same time, we're doing rigorous scientific research as well, which is a separate part of MSG.
We've met some people who opened businesses either before or during the pandemic, and we often think, why would you do that? But yours actually could have benefited by the pandemic being so close after you opened this.
I started the company in 2019 as an idea, and it started in my mind. I started thinking, really, science and art do live in silo. Can we bring these things together? And then suddenly the pandemic hit, in late 2019, and it gave me an opportunity to pilot test my idea. Everybody was at home. The system was shut down. The issues around vaccine hesitancy and COVID knowledge and awareness really became apparent to me and my community. And so I started thinking, let me try this idea out. And we did this in early 2020. And since then, MSG has taken off really, and has grown tremendously in a short amount of time during the pandemic.
But besides the business, you also are a scientist at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. You also advise Bill Gates, is that true?
I do, yes. Actually, I work for the private office of Bill Gates. It's called Gates Ventures. It's in Kirkland, Washington. I've been working with them since 2017. They run a large program called Exemplars in Global Health, where we study exemplary countries, low and middle income countries in the world that have performed exemplary in reducing important outcomes such as malnutrition, for instance, or child mortality. So I work as an advisor to that office, and so I advise them on the scientific processes, and I've published tremendously with them.
That's such an accomplishment for someone who's only 36 years old. Your focus on global health, does that come a little bit from your background growing up first in war-torn Afghanistan?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was younger, I was born in Afghanistan during the Soviet War. My family fled as refugees to neighboring Pakistan, along with millions of other families. I stayed there in those camps, and at a very young age, we immigrated to Canada. And even though I was in Canada, my father and my family, we always kept in the back of our mind the people of Afghanistan and people who live in countries like Afghanistan all over the world. There are people who live in war-torn zones with high rates of malnutrition and poverty, and they're suffering all over the world. And I always remembered that growing up, and it has had a huge influence on my work and my trajectory.
Dr. Akseer, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Congratulations once again on your award, and please keep in touch with us. We would love to have you back on the program to dig a little deeper into some of the work you're doing locally here in the Niagara region.